So, I've been hearing a lot of rumblings about um, Meghan and Harry's new hires. One of them I spoke about yesterday, and the other one is his name Charlie Gibson. Let's check and see what his name is. There are two new hires um, for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are Well, it had a former director of global communications, Miranda Barbeau, who has been promoted to the role of vice president of programs and media operations. In her place, you have Charlie Gibson and Kyle Boulia have joined the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as communications executives, both reporting to Ashley Hansen, who remains head of communications for the couple. And you have Gibson is based in the UK. He's taking on the role of director of communications, serving as a point contact for European media outlets. And apparently, during his 2 decades, well, this is all People magazine, in brand management and public relations, Gibson has led campaigns for clients including Instagram, Samsung, and Haribo. And Boulia is the new Deputy Press Secretary and Director of Communications for U.S. Media, based in Los Angeles. And he previously worked at leading global talent, sports, entertainment, and advisory company United Talent Agency. I mean, these are very big hires. And I think the second guy, Boulia, he was in the diversity and DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion division of UTA, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, which shows that Harry and Meghan are committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, even though those terms and words are sort of fallen into disfavor recently in workplaces, and everybody wants to get rid of that. And I think that it was highlighted that this guy, Boulia, was part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion at UTA, United Talent Agency, I believe that's called, in LA, which is, the one of the chief CEO or whatever had said that Meghan had no talent last year, the chief of UTA, believe it or not. And she turns around and she hires the guy who was at the helm of the diversity, equity, and inclusion at UTA. So I'm sure that there's some tongue in cheek there with that particular hire, and that it wasn't completely coincidental on the part of the Duchess of Sussex. But it's definitely great to know that, despite the fact that DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, has sort of become a buzzword for the devil, pretty much, in many organizations, schools, and so on, that the Duchess of Sussex and the Duke of Sussex are still committed to that as part of their sort of ethos, their company ethos, and that they're hiring people who sort of reflect that that ethos and their, that I don't know what the word would be, but they have this sort of value of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I think is great. But the thing is, though, about this second guy, Gibson, um, you know, I mean, I don't know where he is on the diversity spectrum. I mean, you know, because, diversity, it's about a lot of different things. It's not just about race and color, obviously. And, people might criticize the Duchess and the Duke for, having a workplace that looks very sort of monolithic. But I mean, it depends on how you define diversity and inclusion. It's not just about, you know, someone's outward color. It could be, diversity of ideas, pretty much. Because if this guy, Kyle Boulia, was at the helm of diversity and inclusion in UTA, that should basically tell you everything. But the that's sort of not even what I wanted to talk about. I don't know why I got into this DEI discussion, because what I really wanted to talk about was the fact that in the Daily Mail today, they were talking about this guy Gibson, who is going to take on the role of Director of Communications and serve as a point of contact for European media outlets for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And basically, they're saying that they're going to eat him alive, right? They're saying that they're absolutely going to eat this man alive, basically, according to an article in the Daily Mail today, or was it yesterday? And so I was a little bit like worried about it. I'm like, I hope that Duke and Duchess of Sussex have hired the right people, and they are hiring the right people, people who are going to be able to, first of all, be loyal to them. And we're not going to have a high attrition rate, people, or high turnover, I should say, where people are just in and out like a revolving door, or people are going to be, giving their secrets to the enemy, you know, in the UK in particular, and that the people are competent. I mean, it's one thing to say that, you know, you want DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I'm all for that. But obviously, I don't think you should just hire someone just based on the way they look. And I'm sure that the Duke and Duchess didn't do that. I'm not saying that they did. That would be very condescending of me to even suggest it. But I'm just saying that based on the article I saw today in the Daily Mail, I won't even refer to it right now. You can go check it out yourself, because it's there for everybody to see. And my battery is quite low. I just hope that they're making the right hires, and they're taking everything into consideration, not just diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So anyway, that said, I must go charge my phone again because it's out of juice. And this is in People magazine. So see you in the next one, and let me know your thoughts about that, this particular video, and the thoughts and ideas expressed herein. So see you in the next one. Take care.